Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to do question number 9 of your textbook on page number 208. So here is question number 9. Astha and Ahna are partners in a firm. The balance sheet of their firm is given here. They admitted Sonu as a new partner as on 1st April 2017 on the following condition. Here some informations are given and we have to prepare necessary accounts and balance sheet after admission. So here is the solution. Here we have to prepare revaluation account, partners capital account. Here it is. Then we have to prepare cash account and balance sheet as on 1st April 2017 after admission. So let us start with first information. Here it is given in the question. Sonu will bring rupees 80,000 as her capital and rupees 7,200 as her share of goodwill in cash. Now as she is bringing her share of goodwill, that is premium for goodwill, and her capital in cash, so our firm's cash will increase. That's why it will be debited to cash account. So cash account will be debited to Sonu's capital account 80,000, to premium for goodwill account 7,200. Now for second effect, Sonu's capital account will be credited 80,000 and premium for goodwill will be distributed among all partners in their sacrificing ratio. Here sacrificing ratio is 1:2 and according to that 7,200 will be distributed as 2,400 and 4,800. Let us see calculation of sacrifice ratio. Here it is. Here in the question, old profit and loss sharing ratio is not given, so we have to consider it as equal. So old profit loss sharing ratio is 1:1. New profit and loss sharing ratio is given in the question. That is 4:3:3. Now by applying the formula of sacrifice, that is sacrifice is equal to old share minus new share. So we will get Astha's sacrifice 1/10 and Ahna's sacrifice 2/10. So here in this way we will get sacrificing ratio 1:2. But in third information it is given that goodwill is to be valued at rupees 40,000. That means firm's goodwill is 40,000, and if we calculate share in new goodwill, Sonu's share in new goodwill, we will get 12,000 according to that, as Sonu is getting 3/10 share in profit. So according to this calculation, we will get 12,000. That means Sonu's share in goodwill is 12,000. But out of 12,000, as per the question, Sonu brought only 7,200, means 4,800 is still outstanding. That means for this outstanding amount, that is 4,800, will be charged from Sonu's capital. First, let us see journal entry for this for better understanding. Here, as Sonu brought his share of goodwill in cash, so entry will be cash account debit 7,200 to premium for goodwill account. Now this 7,200 will be distributed among all partners in their sacrificing ratio. But according to this calculation, his share of goodwill is not only 7,200, but it is 12,000. That means 4,800 is outstanding. 12,000 minus 7,200, that is 4,800 is outstanding. So this 4,800 will be charged from Sonu's capital account. So in this way, our journal entry would be Sonu's capital account debit 4,800 and it will be distributed among all partner in sacrificing ratio. So we will get Astha's capital account will be credited by rupees 1,600 and Ahna's capital account will be credited by 3,200 according to sacrificing ratio, that is 1:2. So in this way, Sonu's capital account will be debited by rupees 1,600 and 3,200 and Ahna's account will be credited by rupees 1,600 and 3,200. 1,600 will be credited to Astha's capital account and 3200 will be credited to Ahna's capital account as they are getting the share of goodwill of Sonu. Now fourth point is given about the claim of workman compensation that is accepted at rupees 3200. Now if you see in the old balance sheet, you will find that in that workman compensation fund is also given 4,800. And as we know, workman compensation reserve is one kind of reserve created for payment of compensation in case of accident. So here claim is also accepted at rupees 3,200. So here we will not distribute entire amount, that is 4,800, to old partner, because here workman compensation claim is accepted at rupees 3,200. So we will deduct 3,200 from 4,800. So we will get 1,600. So 1,600 will be distributed to old partner in their old ratio. And old ratio is 1:1. So 1,600 will be distributed as 800. 800 will be given to Astha, and again 800 will be credited to Ahna's capital account. So Astha's capital account and Ahna's capital account will be credited by rupees 800. So you note that amount of reserve in excess of the liability is distributed among the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio, and balance amount, that is 3,200, will be shown on liability side of balance sheet. Then in fifth point, it is given that Ahna will take over investments at rupees 19,200. Here first effect of it will be on debit side of capital account. Here Ahna is taking over investment at rupees 19,200. So Ahna's capital account will be debited. See, when an asset is taken over by a partner, his or her capital account is debited because the value of the asset is charged from his or her capital. Thus, here Ahna's capital account is debited as her capital account is reduced. In the old balance sheet, investment is shown at rupees 20,000, and investment fluctuation fund is also there, which is shown at rupees 1,600. Now as Ahna has taken over the investment, so now investment will not appear in new balance sheet. Now let us see calculation for distribution of investment fluctuation fund. Investment fluctuation fund is also a kind of reserve which will be distributed. But here how much amount is distributed? Let us see. Here investment was shown in old balance sheet at rupees 20,000. But Ahna, that is partner, has taken away investment at rupees 19,200, taken over by partner. So here we will get, by subtracting 19,200 from 20,000, we will get 800. As you can see, here investment was shown at rupees 20,000 in old balance sheet. And as Ahna has taken over it at rupees 19,200, so there is a loss of rupees 800 which will be deducted from investment fluctuation fund. And investment fluctuation fund is shown at rupees 1,600 on liability side in their old balance sheet. So if we deduct loss on investment 800 from 1,600, we get 800, which is remaining amount of investment fluctuation fund. Here I can show you IFR, that is investment fluctuation reserve, is shown at 1,600, and if we deduct this loss, that is 800, we get 800, which is remaining amount of IFR which will be distributed among old partner in their old ratio. So according to old ratio, that is 1:1, 800 will be distributed as 400. So here Astha's capital account will be credited by rupees 400 and Anna's capital account will be credited by rupees 400. So you must note that IFR, that means investment fluctuation reserve, or we can also say it investment fluctuation fund, is created to meet the fall in the market value of investment. It is created to adjust the difference between the book value and market value of investment. And excess of investment fluctuation fund over difference between book value and market value is credited to old partners in their old ratio. That is what we have done here. Now investment fluctuation reserve will not appear on liability side of balance sheet as it has been distributed. Now next information is given, point number 6. Accrued interest on investment rupees 2400 is not recorded. Accrued interest on investment is an asset for us. So it will be recorded on asset side of balance sheet. And as it is an unrecorded asset, and if unrecorded asset is brought to books, then it is a profit. So it will be recorded on credit side of revaluation account. Now next information, point number 7. Accepted bills payable of rupees 2000 which was drawn by creditors is not recorded. Here, form of liability is changed. As soon as we accepted the bill, our liability, which was in the form of creditor, changed to bills payable form. So it will be recorded as deduction from creditor, which will be shown on balance sheet. So here, creditor was 12,000 and as we subtracted 2,000 for bills payable, we get 10,000 in outer column. Then as it is bills payable that we accepted, so it will be added to bills payable. So bills payable was 6,000 and as we added it, so we get 8,000 in outer column. Its second effect will not appear on revaluation account because this is not a case of increase or decrease in liability. Here only form of liability is changed. So here both the effects will appear on liability side as deduction from creditor and addition to bills payable. Now let's move to point number 8. Book value of land building is 20% less than its market value. Here market value of land and building is not given. So let us see its calculation. As market value of land and building is not given, so we will assume it as 100. And as it is given in question that book value of land and building is 20% less than its market value. So we will deduct 20% of 100, then we will get 80. Book value is given in their old balance sheet, which is 40,000. So when book value is 80, we assumed market value as 100. So what will be the market value when book value is 40,000? By cross multiplication, we will get 50,000. 50,000 is market value of land and building. So on asset side in balance sheet, we will record land and building at rupees 50,000. And as there is increase in the value of asset, which is a kind of profit, so it will be recorded on credit side of revaluation account. Here value of land and building is increased by rupees 10,000. So we will record 10,000 in revaluation account. Now ninth point, out of insurance premium paid 4,800 is for rent next year. It is an asset. So as it is an unrecorded asset which is brought to the books, so it is a profit. That's why we will record it on credit side of revaluation account as prepaid insurance premium 4,800. And in new balance sheet, we will show it on asset side, prepaid insurance premium 4,800. Now if you see in question, in their old balance sheet, first item is given goodwill, that is 8,400. Now as it is old goodwill, it must be closed, and amount of old goodwill will be distributed among old partner in old ratio. Old ratio is 1:1. So 8,400 will be distributed as 4,200 and 4,200. So here Astha's capital account will be debited by rupees 4,200 and Ahana's capital account will also be debited by rupees 4,200. Now let us distribute accumulated loss that is given on asset side. Here advertisement campaign expenditure is given, which is a fictitious asset. It is an accumulated loss, so it will be distributed between old partners in their old ratio. So here Astha's capital account will be debited by rupees 1,600 and Ahana's capital will be debited by rupees 1,600. Now on asset side, profit and loss account is given. If profit and loss account is given in asset side, it indicates that it has debit balance, and debit balance of profit and loss account shows that it is a loss. So it is a accumulated loss. So again it will be distributed between old partners in their old ratio. So here Astha's capital account will be debited by rupees 2,000 and Ahana's capital account will also be debited by rupees 2,000. Now we will record remaining items from old balance sheet, and after completing it we have to close revaluation account. So when you close revaluation account, you will get difference amount on debit side. So it is a revaluation profit. Revaluation profit will be transferred to partners capital account. It will be distributed to old partner in their old ratio. So 17,200 will be distributed as 8,600 for Astha and 8,600 for Ahana. Now partners capital account will be closed. You will find difference on debit side. It is closing balance of partners capital, which will be transferred to balance sheet. So here I have recorded it on liability side. Capital account of closing capital of Astha 86,000. Ahana's capital is 43,200 and Sonu's capital is 75,200. Then you will have to close cash or bank account. So when you will close cash or bank account, you will get closing cash balance, that is 1,03,200, which will be recorded on asset side. So here it is recorded on asset side of balance sheet 1,03,200, and in this way your balance sheet will get tallied by the amount 2,32,000. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.